What is going on, everyone? I hope you are doing great. It's Tuesday, February 24th. Unbelievable. And where in the world have I been? I feel like every time I do a live show, I'm answering the same question of where the heck have I been? And maybe I should be saying, where have you been? Where have you been? How come you not been in my inbox going, Billy, do a live show? Please hurry. So today in this video, I'm just going to be answering some frequently asked questions from Amazon influencers, or maybe not Amazon influencers, who have been asking me a lot of questions about the program and really about how to leverage the program for other opportunities. So if that's you and you're watching live, or maybe you're even catching the replay, feel free to leave your question in the comments, and then I will try to answer that the best I can, either in this live show or the next live show. So first of all, where have I been? A little update from me. I have been making videos, and I've been making a ton of videos. So this year I decided to test a few different strategies during this downtime of January and February, which is normally during the Chinese New Year. So first of all, January, we're kind of coming off of Christmas time, coming off the holidays, and so it's been real busy from October to December, and then January kind of dies down a little bit. Brand deals die down a little bit. Brand collaborations, which is mainly my main focus. All that stuff kind of goes just slow in January, and then February kind of goes bloop because of the Chinese New Year, which we're coming up not technically to the end until March 3rd, but a lot of companies are back in. But all last week was pretty quiet. However, this year I decided, instead of just taking the time off and doing some downtime, because I had a lot of downtime last year with my move to Puerto Rico and all that fun stuff, this year I decided I'm going to test out some new strategies, product pipeline strategies of how to get product and really product that I want so I can resell and different things like that. So I've been working on a lot of strategic things, and I ended up so far this year, I want to share some results with you from this strategy, which if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can join my mastermind group. Actually, let me turn on my little ticker. Where is my little ticker? I think this is it. This is going to show you right here at the bottom, join the Dealmakers community. And I made a video about this and share a little bit more about it in that community, so you can go join there and then and check out that video, and you can kind of see the whole full process of what I've been up to. But anyway, so I guess some results from that. I'm pretty excited that this year, so January and February, and we're not at the end of February yet, in January I made 69 videos. Probably 70 because I probably forgot to upload one, but I made 69 videos in January. Once again, a little bit slower to the typical 100 plus months. However, in February, I created 134 videos. So I just published my 134th Amazon influencer video that lives on Amazon that people can watch, click, buy something, and I make a small commission off of that, or a large commission if it's part of the Creator Connections campaign program that they have over there. So if you've thinking like, where's this dude been? He just shows up and does a live show every once in a while. I have it on my schedule, so my schedule is changing a little bit. My wife and I are doing a little bit different of a work schedule with our businesses, so I will be available a little bit more to hopefully do one of these live shows once per week, just to really help you in the Amazon program, to answer any of the questions if you're already in the program, or maybe you're trying to get into the program, or maybe you're just trying to level up and get the attention of brands. And that's been the number one question, is like, how in the world do you get these brand deals? How do you get companies to send you all these products? And I have a list of questions here that I've kind of just keep track of as we go through, as I go through and people ask questions. I just kind of keep track of those. I was trying to see here if there was a question coming through on Facebook or Instagram. I don't know. I just got a notification for no reason. Anyway, all right, ADHD brain, wrap it up. So anyhow, I do have some questions here that I'm going to answer. If you don't know what the Amazon Influencer Program is, it's basically Amazon's gives you access as an influencer, as a content creator, if you're in the program. So if you have a social media following that, or a social media account, I should say, that is deemed worthy by them to give you access to the influencer program, then you can go in there and make different types of content. So photos, videos, so shoppable content, so pre-recorded stuff or live shows, and then they will distribute that out amongst the Amazon platform. And when people engage with that, they watch it and they make a purchase within that same category, then you have the ability to earn from those pieces of content. So I've been doing this for like 4 years now, I think, going on my fourth. This year will be my 4th year that I got since I got approved, I believe. And I've created 4,400. Hold on, let me pull it up. I'm pretty proud of this number, wherever it is. And in the way I'm gonna say it, you might be like, "What's this guy talking about?" But let me see what my exact number is here before I say. So 4,452 videos or on this platform, and so or posts, I should say. Most of those are videos, so probably just a handful of them are not. And majority of those 4,300 plus are collaborations or paid collaborations from brands who send me stuff and pay me to make videos. So when I say I made that many videos, I want to just put a little asterisk and say quality videos, similar to what you're seeing here. And when people ask me, how do I get more brand deals? How do I get more companies to send me products? How do I get more companies to recognize my work and what I'm doing? I think this is the number one thing you have to do is create quality content. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, it doesn't really matter. You can shoot it on your phone. You can shoot it by holding your hand with your phone and all this stuff. And it doesn't matter. They're absolutely right. Amazon says, good job. That's acceptable. We'll go ahead and let that through. But when it comes to working with companies, they want to be proud of the videos that their product is in. So they want people who will create quality content and create this quality content quickly. So that's the number one way is my strategy when people ask me. It's not my better pitch or my better media kit or any of those things. It's quality content quickly. And it's making that investment, not necessarily up front, but over time to be able to make these types of videos. And when I'm talking about these videos, and I don't have my scene set up for my Amazon videos, but I open videos like this with this camera. I go to this overhead shot. I can show that's going on. I can show this video feed here. I don't ever use this feed, but I could do that as well. And so I'm basically, by using ECAMM Live, I'm bringing in 4 different video feeds, and I'm able to switch very quickly between the two. So I can start off talking about the product, show what comes in the box, all that stuff. If you've seen my content before, you're probably like, oh my God, this guy again talking about quality content quickly. Yes, because that works. That is what will get you more brand deals. That's what will get you noticed more than anyone else on the platform, especially in a sea of subpar quality content. So I know it's not YouTube, so I'm not saying you have to be a YouTube content creator and have all this fancy editing and all this stuff going on. You really don't. But if you just have a couple of shots that are different, that's good quality, brands they look at that and go, wow, that's amazing. And so out of these 203 videos, I was able to land 150 of those collaborations within a couple of weeks because of the quality of my content. I had companies during that time when I was reaching out to do these collaborations, because this was all outbound outreaches. So if you're in sales or been in sales, you have like inbound and outbound. So most of my paid collaborations are inbound. Most companies are seeing my content on the platform. They're going, hey, this is amazing. This is great. Can you do a video about our stuff? And then I can pitch them my pricing or whatever. Well, this strategy that I've been testing out is a different strategy, and it's been more of an outbound strategy. And I was able to land 150 collaboration opportunities because of the quality of content. And even some companies said, well, we don't have any more samples, or actually we sent some samples out, we never got videos done. And if that's you, if you're watching this video right now and you're an Amazon influencer and you have been reaching out to these companies and they're sending you product and you're not doing the videos. Now, I understand we all get backed up. We all get busy. Stuff takes a while. Some stuff takes longer than other things. I totally get it. And I've been in that situation. I'm in that situation right now with a couple of products that need to be done, and they're just a little bit more set up. They're a little bit more installation than I have had time to do. And so now that I'm not as busy, I'm going to start to do those. So when you are reaching out to a company if it's a paid collaboration, free collaboration, doesn't matter. Do the freaking work is what I'm going to say. Do the freaking work. As somebody who's been in here for a lot longer than most people, I've created a lot more videos, I've created a lot more relationships. Nothing pisses me off more than somebody else that is in my industry getting told that person or those people are not doing what they said they're going to do. So do it. If nothing else, just communicate a lot. Like, it's okay to communicate. It's okay to be delayed. It's okay to be backed up. Just communicate those things with the brand so the overall industry doesn't suffer because of your, laziness, lack of ability to, create workflow processes that make this process quick for you, whatever that looks like. Just don't be that person, because it's really easy to reach out and get companies to give you stuff, but the work is the hard part. So do the work. All right, let's see who's jumping in the comments over here. We got Gabe. What's up, Gabe? Good to see you. Where are these comments going to come in at? Do we know? Of course, they're going to come in right where I don't want them to. There we go. I'll just set this up live. No problem. There we go. Love ECAMM for that. What's up, David Hunt? Good to see you. David in the house. Let's see. Can I make lots of money creating videos? I mean, it depends on what lots of money means to you. Lots of money to me, absolutely. I've made lots of money creating videos. So it depends on what that means for you. If that means, am I going to make $1 million a month? Probably not. Can I make somewhere between $500 and $20,000 a month? I'm going to say the odds are pretty good. 20,000 being you're like a super overachiever and you're pushing all the buttons and doing all the things. $500 a month if you're just kind of like subpar and lazy. I think you can still do that. I think you can still be lazy and make $500 a month. So anyway, the number one thing, how do I get brands to notice me? If you're a big creator, if you're a small creator, whatever that is your quality of your content. So it's high quality content that is like full of information, detailed quality content. So not only does it look quality, but it also is quality with the information that's given. What questions are people who are buying that product going to struggle to get answers to? What as a shopper am I looking for the answers? Like I do a lot of electronics. That's kind of what I've not purposely niched down to, but I'm just generally better at talking about electronics than most other stuff. Obviously, I'm not into fashion because I wear a black t-shirt every day of my life. So it is one of those things where I think you can, be very detailed about the product, answer the questions for the consumer, and then it's not really that hard. And get a format. And I'll talk about that maybe a little bit more in a second. Side Hustle Experiment. If you guys haven't checked out Side Hustle Experiment, my friend John, super cool guy, does a lot of side hustle stuff, obviously. Has a podcast called Side Hustle Experiment, which I've been on. So go listen to that episode as we have a lot of fun. And he and I are all the time swapping notes. He says, I don't think so. The program is too saturated. I don't think it's saturated. This is one thing I'll get a little on a soapbox, and John knows we have mutual respect here, but I'm going to push back and go hard in the paint on John for a second, because YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, the Amazon Influencer Program, the TikTok Creator Program, none of these things are too saturated, okay? It doesn't really, that's a stupid cop-out word. And not saying that John is stupid or his thought is stupid here, but the word too saturated is just a cop-out. The question is, can you rise to the top? Can you rise to the top? Can you put in the work, the quality work that needs to be done to get noticed in your industry? I feel like there's a million people trying to play in the NFL, and people might go, well, it's just too saturated, I'm going to quit. But there's NFL players. There's an NFL league. It's like there's a National Football League for a reason. But the people who didn't quit, the people who persevered, the people who put in the work, put in the reps, those guys were going to the top. John says, I was totally messing with you. There's so much opportunity. I was going to get confused. I was like making a note on my Post-it note with my trusty old pen to call John and talk him off the ledge. But it's a good point, because I think it's a big excuse that a lot of people make, and not just in this industry, but in all the industries. Because you maybe you turn on this live stream and you look at me and you go, oh my God, this guy's made 4,300, 4,400 videos. I'll never catch up to that. I'll never do that. There's people who are made less videos than me, who have less published videos, who are making more money because they have taken time to do other things that I've not taken time to do. And also, I've just been around longer, so some of those products I made early on, they have a shelf life. Everything has a shelf life. Everything has pros and cons, so this isn't just make it once and make money forever. There's a lot of rotation in carousels. There's a lot of products that drop off. And so it's a business, and you got to keep showing up, keep making videos, keep making content. And unfortunately, you can scale and make money, but it's not just a one-for-one every single time. And just because you made, I made a ladder video one time. I made $900 off of it in a few months, and I was like, oh, this is so sick. And I was very green in the business, and I thought, I'm going to make $900 every 3 months off of this ladder, $300 a month. And that's just not what happened. I don't even know where that ladder is now. Like, I don't have the ladder. I don't know where the ladder video is. I haven't checked on it and don't really care. But I just make more quality content. Keep moving on. Do you have let's see, hold on. Do you have a space of like-minded individuals to push each other to get better? Is there such a community, and where can I find it? David, thanks for teeing that up for me. And I do, actually. It's my group called Deal Makers. You can go to billythorpe.live. It's a free community, and then I also have a paid version once you're kind of in there and you understand the mentality that and the philosophy that I use. If that's something you want to do and get more hands-on approach, then I'm happy to help with that. So David's in there. He knows. What a tee up, man. What a tee up. This is what a good community does. Tease me up for sales pitches for free. It's a free sales pitch. All right, cool. Let's jump over here and see about something else. So we can talk about getting brand deals all day. Where do you find brands? Where do you pitch brands? Do you wait for inbound? Do you outbound? I don't really wait for inbound. I will, in the very beginning stages, I did not wait for inbound. Now, I get 99.9% of my leads are now inbound leads, and that is because of the quality of the content, and it's because of the volume of videos I have out there. So every video is my best salesperson. So that's why I always want to do quality content. And I want to have a format. I want to have a very consistent format. That way, when a company goes and watches 3 or 4 videos, they get the idea. It's like a TV show. It's like there's 80% of a TV show that we just know what's going to happen, and there's probably 20% that's unpredictable. So 80% is predictable, 20% is unpredictable, and that's kind of how we want to do this, and how I want to do it. One, because it makes it really easy for me personally to sit down, have a format for these videos, and I structure it just like I would a TV show or a YouTube video or anything else. I sit down and I just make sure that I have this format. Now, I've done this so many times, I can do it with my eyes closed, and my format is pretty much the same for every single video. And there's some caveats in there, depending on the product, the category, all that fun stuff. But for the most part, every single video, if a company watches it, they can see 2 things happening: very consistent look and communication, and very consistent format of what the video is going to cover for their product, just like I have 4,000 other products. So I think that's one thing that I would tell people is the more format, the more boring that your business can be, the more successful you can get and the more you can scale, because you're not trying to be creative on every single video. You're not trying to overly produce every single video. You're getting to the nuts and bolts or whatever. You're getting to the meat of it, and you're going, this is what it is. This is how it works. This is what comes in the box. This is what I think. Maybe there's a question that needs to be answered or whatever, or something the brand wants you to talk about. But that is a pretty easy, consistent format, and you can do that over and over and over and over and over again. I made 87 quality pieces of content in 1 week because of that format. And so, that's one thing that I want to just put down, make your workflow easy. Make it where you can batch record. The other day, I'm in one of these Facebook groups, and if you're watching this video, and I'm not making fun, was shocked at this process. So my process, if you look, so let me bring this up. If you look over here, if you can see that, there is a shelf. Now it doesn't have very many products on it because I've pretty much depleted all the products and I'm waiting on some more to come in. But this thing is normally pretty full of products. And so what I'll do is I'll grab one at a time and then I'll do the video. And sometimes stuff needs B-roll, so I'll organize it accordingly. Like if it needs to be shot in the car, I'll put it in a box that says car videos. If it needs to be, shot outside or something like that, some of the B-roll footage, I'll do all that. I'll organize it that way kind of when I get it in. However, I keep most of it on this shelf. I pull it off. I get the information I need. I make the B-roll footage, whatever. I shoot the video. I put it back in the box. I take it into the other room, and I get it ready for resale. And that's just what I do. Well, I was in a group the other day, and somebody was like, here's all my stuff. I'm ready to shoot videos. And I bet they had 100 products laid out of the box all over the place in their living room. And I'm just sitting there, and they get their tripod with their ring light or whatever. And I'm just like, what in the world are you doing? Like, you're going to get crushed. Like, especially if your goal is to do what my goal is, which is a 3 or 4-tier system, 5-tier system. But the main 3 tiers is the video fee, Amazon, residual revenue from Amazon, potentially. I'll say potentially. And then the third one is to resell. But if you got the crap all over the place, you don't know where the original packaging is, there's like no organization. It looks like somebody just went in there and just like took their belongings and just threw them all over the living room. And they're like, these are all brand deals. I'm so excited. And I'm like thinking, dude, that is a hot freaking mess. So get organized, get a system. Systems will create scale. Like, systems will help you scale this business, and you can do what I've done, like 203 pieces of content in just a couple of months. And that's since the beginning of the year. And just to put this in perspective, last year I moved. Last year I did a lot of other stuff, and I probably only did like 700 videos last year. And normally I do like 1,200, 1,600, something like that. But I've already done 200 this, so I'm back to my 100 a month on average. Well, this month is not even over, so maybe I'll do more, but we'll see. Let's see if there's anybody else in the comments. Anybody? Okay, cool. David just saying you're welcome for setting me up for that earlier. So that's a little bit about workflow. What camera do I need to start? And this is a great question. Everyone asks this question a lot. It's like, do I need a fancy camera? Do I need an iPhone? Do I need whatever? Use whatever equipment that you have. I will say this though, learn how to use the equipment you have. Not only use it, but learn how to use it and learn how to use it better. It's going to be worth your investment of time to figure out how to get the best quality content out of whatever device that you are using. So if I'm using my phone, the first thing I'm going to go do is research how do I make good quality videos with an iPhone 17 Pro. And there's going to be plenty of YouTube videos, and they're going to show you different software and different ways to set this up and use it. One of the biggest things with people using a phone is if I come in here and I go to video, or if I go to anything, you see this little green dot right there? Well, that's where the camera is. Look at the green dot. When you look at the green dot, it's going to connect you with the audience. I can't tell you how many times I'm watching these videos and people are like looking at themselves, and which is easy to do because you're like the majority of the screen. I totally get it. And so you're like looking at yourself. You're not looking at your audience. You're not looking at the person who is watching your video. And it's just like, what is this person looking at? And it's very distracting. But when you have something you look at, like I'm looking through my teleprompter into the lens here, and I'm making a connection with you. Like right now, you and I are making a connection. Now, if I'm over here and I'm looking at something, now if I veer off and I look at notes and I come back, I'm just doing that. But if I'm looking over here the whole time and I'm trying to tell you about a product that I'm holding, so if I'm like, today we're going to take a look at these AirPods, and these AirPods are wonderful and great and amazing. It's like, do you believe me? You don't. It looks like you're reading your notes. Actually, it doesn't even look like you're, So maybe if you have a computer screen and you're shooting in front of your computer screen, put your notes behind it. Look at the little green dot on your phone. Like that is going to just tweak your content just above the next person. Get a light. Get some kind of a ring. Get a ring light. Don't put the ring light on your face and give you little snake eyes. Bounce it off your wall. Bounce it off your ceiling. do something different. I used to have a ring light when I didn't have a big light like I do now, and I would just put a pillowcase on it. That's what I'm talking about, a pillowcase. I put a pillowcase just so it would like diffuse the light and make the light a little bit bigger. Think about the sun. So these are all like little tiny things. Like get a microphone. You probably can get a microphone for free from a brand that just clips on your lapel, plugs into your phone. It's going to give you way better audio quality than what you will just from standing 10 feet from your phone. I can't tell you how many people, I'm getting on a production rant, but I can't tell you how many people I watch their Amazon influencer videos and I can't hear a dang thing they're talking about. I have no idea. They're standing 10 feet off the stinking camera and they're like, today we're talking about this thing over here. And I'm like, what are you doing? And they're trying to like shoot a video of like a piece of workout equipment that's 9 times bigger than they are, standing 18 feet back from the camera. And you don't know. It's not quality. I don't even know what you're saying. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to click the next video where I can actually understand and hear the person. Let's see. What do you do for organizing your content strategy? Well, my content strategy is pretty simple. It's just make make video. So stuff, for instance, for Amazon stuff, if I get this product in, so I can't wait to shoot this video. Actually, I got to go get a gas tank. But this is a torch. This is like where you can sear steaks or you can burn grass. I don't know. It does a lot. Whatever. You want to... I'm excited. So you hook in propane or gas to it. So the first thing I do, if I'm going to pick this video up off the shelf, my strategy is pretty simple. Like, first of all, I kind of say, if I have the intake of products, if I have the amount of products to support it, I want to do about 10 product videos per day. That's my goal. And when I say per day, I mean by lunchtime. So if I come in here at 9 o'clock, in 3 hours, I want to be able to do 10 videos, start to finish, whatever that looks like. That's kind of my goal. That's my workflow. I can do that if I want to do 10 videos after lunch, whatever. But I'll come in, I'll scan this product with my phone. It does a couple things. So Amazon, you can't scan this barcode on your Chrome like web browser. It just doesn't work. It doesn't bring it up. Even if you are in Amazon and you scan it on their little search thing, it doesn't work. Unless they changed it, it didn't work a year or two ago, and I don't think it'll work now. So I get my Amazon app out, I scan this, it goes to my iPhone, I airdrop that link right over to my computer, and then that way I have all the information that I need about this product. And then I shoot the video about it. Once again, if I get to shoot B-roll or something, like I'm going to have to go burn some grass or a steak with this. So I will do all that. I'll shoot the B-roll with my phone. I'll shoot it with my Osmo Pocket 3. I'll shoot it with my Meta Ray-Ban glasses, whatever. I'll shoot video with some other device. And then I'll just throw that into my ECAMM. So then ECAMM is, if you're not a Mac user, it's not going to work for you. Maybe you could use OBS or something, but ECAMM for Mac users is super sick. It brings all 3 of my cameras in, and I'm able to just go through the video. So my strategy is to make as many videos as I possibly can in the least amount of time. But however, still make them good quality. So yeah, I'll do that. I'll come in, I'll scan this stuff, I'll make sure I know the information about the product. I'll do an introduction shot. So I'll hold this. I'll talk about what it is I'm talking about in the video. I'll go to my overhead shot. I'll show the product in detail, what comes in the box. And then I will come back to this. And then I'll go to my B-roll footage or whatever if I need to. And then I'll come back and end the video. So that's really the kind of the workflow, I guess. Yeah, anyway. I mean, there's probably a lot more to that. But that's the organizational process. So then I take that and I put it back there in the back, and then reselling it is a whole different thing. But it's pretty cut and dry. It's pretty boring. It's getting more boring every time I make a video. It's just more boring, which is good because I can scale boring. I can't scale creative all the time, you know? So, and there's like little tweaks about the videos that make them creative in their own way. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Anybody else have any questions from the chat? If not, I'll jump back over to my little mailbox here, my little question box. And how long have I been going? About 30 minutes? Okay, I'll do a couple more questions if nobody has any in the chat. Let's see. There's a question. It says, "Why did my commissions drop?" Just get used to it. Just put on your roller coaster seatbelt when it comes to making money, especially with Amazon, because it's going to change all the time. Placement's going to change. All that stuff's going to change. You have no control of that. The only thing you have control of is making more videos, and that's it. Making more videos of products that sell is what the guy Rob over at Oink says. Got to make videos of products that sell. I personally just say make videos of whatever. It doesn't really matter because I work with brands, so I don't really care because I'm going to get paid up front majority of the time. Let's see. Is this passive income? I love this question. I don't think any income is passive. I think if somebody, I can't think of one. I mean, maybe there's like investments that are semi-passive or passive that you can't really do anything. You just throw it in there and throw your money in there and it does whatever it does. This is not a passive stream of revenue. There's certain aspects of it that are passive. There's videos that are making you money while you sleep. So that one aspect of it is passive. But I would say if you're really wanting it to generate good income, then it's definitely something you got to keep continuing to do. Anyway, yeah, keep at it, keep working. It's just work. That's all it is. Find a system and keep doing it. Let's see. Can I resell the products the brand sends to me? Yep, absolutely. I resell all the products that a brand sends to me. Should I sell on Whatnot? I don't know if you want to. So Whatnot is good for liquidation. So if your goal is like, I got so much stuff in my house, I need to get rid of it fast, Whatnot is the place to do that. Start them at low bid starts and just blow them right out of your door. If you don't care to ship, if you don't care to learn a new platform, Whatnot is phenomenal at getting rid of product. If you are in the mindset, which you think this would be default for a lot of people, but it's not for me sometimes. Now, I'm moving more into this mindset because it's harder for me to ship on Whatnot now, and I'll tell you that in a minute. But if you want to maximize every single product and get every piece of dollar out of it, I don't know how a better way to say it, then I would not sell on Whatnot. I would sell on eBay. I would sell on Facebook. I would sell on Facebook Marketplace. If you have a Facebook Marketplace that's worthy, that can do it. And maybe that's a bad word to use, worthy, or a different word. But I would not sell on Whatnot if you are looking to maximize per product. So, because you will go, wait a minute, I just sold a tablet for $30. Like I could have sold that for $75 or $100 somewhere else. And you're absolutely correct. But you won't be able to sell it at the same frequency or speed. Maybe you'll sell 3 or 4 items a week on Facebook Marketplace for, $25. So say, whatever, maybe you'll make $100 a week on Marketplace, just to put these numbers. You can sell 100 products an hour on Whatnot if you're quick, and maybe make $5 a product or $6 or maybe $10 or $12. The most I've ever made on a show when I lived in the States was probably I averaged about $12 in profit per product and sold like 100 products in that show, which took me, probably 6 hours or something from top to bottom to do, $1,200 in profit. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, Whatnot's one of those like liquidation games. And if you have a liquidation business, or you can get access to liquidation products and you can get them for pennies on the dollar, then I think Whatnot is a great spot to resell. But I don't know. It's the fastest probably. But anyway, yeah, there's like I could probably do a whole episode on that. And the only reason I'm not selling on Whatnot is because I now live in Puerto Rico, and Puerto Rico is excluded from the Whatnot USPS shipping discount deal. And so by them being excluded on Whatnot, the buyer pays shipping. So if you go and I'm doing a live show on Whatnot, there's a chance that the product that you're buying from me, the shipping price would be 2 to 3x what it would be if I lived in the States. So what that does is it doesn't really deter people from buying. It deters people from bidding. Therefore, the bid doesn't go up as high. And so they'll be like, I made I mean, I got smoked on a couple of shows, which I have zero cost of goods into this product. So it's really, I'm not losing money. I'm just not making quite as much as I could. And then if you start looking at comps, you're gonna cry. You're gonna cry big alligator tears, no matter where you're shipping from. So anyway, I will stop my trauma dump. And I tried. The only thing I haven't tried yet that I may try is to bulk up and sell lots over there on Whatnot, and start them at a way higher price point. And that way it's like, this is a set lot of stuff, and maybe there's 15, 20 items or whatever in a box, and I can just ship them out all in one time. And that makes it worth it. Like if someone's going to pay $25 or $30 for shipping, or 15 to 30, 50, whatever, but they're getting 15 products, then they might go, okay, that's justifiable. So anyway, there you go. All right, any more questions from the crowd, from the audience? What's up? Thanks for joining. By the way, if you haven't said hi in a chat near you, please do. What's up, Paul? I see Paul hanging out here. So good to see you, Paul. And if you have any questions, even on the replay, if you watch the replay and you have questions, feel free to leave them. I'll try to get to them next time, which I'm going to try to go live next week. Try to go live once a week and do some of these Q&A sessions about this business, because I do feel like there's a lot of opportunity for the right people who want to level up their content creation in the form of like shoppable content or live selling as well. So fun. All right. Anything else? Going once, going twice. I'm late to the party. Need to catch the replay. All right. Well, everybody, thanks for jumping in. If you're watching live, thanks for catching the replay. Just hit Team Replay in the comments. And if you need some help with Amazon influencer stuff, go to billythorpe.live. You can join my free community called Deal Makers and jump over there. And you can probably consume a ton of content that's already over there. But then you can ask your questions in that platform as well if you don't want to wait for the live show next week. All right, that is it for me. I don't think I have an end scene. I never have an end scene. No, I do. Here it is. See ya.